HIV has hit South Africa the hardest. It has the highest infection rate in the world. Though the government says it's making progress on HIV prevention, the country still faces challenges. One is funding for organizations helping in the fight. Here's CCTV's Guy Henderson from Johannesburg.
Brenda Masango says she wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for the Treatment Action Campaign. She contracted HIV as a university student in 2006. At the time, she knew little about the virus, and so paralysed by fear, she attempted to take her own life. TAC came to her rescue at a time when government offered little support.
I can say I am who I am today because of TAC. I met a man in TAC. I'm engaged now. I have a baby. And the most thing that I love about TAC is for them when they brought PMTCT in the government, in the health facilities. My baby is HIV negative now because of PMTCT.
Now she's campaigning to keep the organisation that saved her alive. TAC's foreign funding has been cut since South Africa was officially deemed a middle-income country. Without new sources of revenue, it will likely close down in the next few months.
Now, in the dark days of denialism, the Treatment Action Campaign undoubtedly saved hundreds of thousands of lives in communities like this and right across the country. It led the eventually successful battle to persuade a reluctant government to begin to roll out life-saving drugs. And no other organisation in this country did as much to raise awareness and break down stigmas.
Since then, much has changed. Millions do get state help. Frontline services are much improved to the point where donors are refocusing. The United Nations now says the global epidemic can be beaten in 15 years. The widely praised Minister of Health here believes that's a realistic target.
By that time, 90% of populations must know their status. And that 90% of those who are HIV positive must be on treatment. And that 90% of those who are on treatment are virally suppressed. When we reach that stage, then we'll say we have eliminated HIV and AIDS. And that's possible.
But TAC says its ground-level work is still vital and that the reality is very different.
We are faced with state of public health system that is falling apart almost in all provinces. So if there is no TAC, that voice, that civil society voice that seeks to hold government and other leading structures accountable, it will vanish into a thin air. Also, as much as we are talking about more than 2.6 million people who are on ARVs, there is a huge number of people who were initiated on ARVs that have defaulted.
HIV in South Africa is no longer a death sentence. Brenda Masango stands as evidence of that. But keeping so many alive for longer is stretching the health system to the limit while infection rates remain high. For the many touched by TAC over the years, its closure would be a monumental setback. Guy Henderson, CCTV, Pretoria, South Africa.